Hey, Alex, here. In this video I'm going to show you how I paint my Night Goblins. This model is from the Zarbag's Gitz Underworld set, but the recipe shown in this video could be applied to any Gloomspite Gitz models. All the colours I'll be using are on the screen right now, but feel free to swap them out for whatever alternative range you prefer. To start with, I've base coated the entire model using Wraithbone. The first colour I'm going to use is Imperial Fists Yellow, which I'll apply all over the robes. This is a very opaque contrast paint and will cover nicely in one coat. There's no need to be neat here, you can fix any mistakes later with the other colours. Next, I'm going to use Gore-Grunter Fur to colour in the belt, as well as any leather or wooden areas. In this case, that's going to be the arrow quiver, the arrow shafts, and the bow. Try to be neat when painting the belt, any overspill will take a while to clean up with the yellow. Once the brown is dried, I'm going to go in with some Bile Red and pick out the arrow fletchings. There isn't a lot of use for this colour on this model, but I've been using it throughout my army as an accent colour. I'm also going to use it to pick out the head of the small mushroom on the base. Next, I'll use Morghast Bone to colour the hand wraps on the bow. If you're painting a goblin with a spear from the Stabber's box, then this is a great colour to paint the wraps on the spear with. I'm also going to apply this to the stem of the mushroom on the base. I'm going to fill in the skin next using Auric Flesh. I used to mix my own skin colour for these guys, but I've found that having this available pre-mixed in a pot is really handy, especially when painting a large horde of models. The more modern Night Goblin sculpts like this one have ears sticking out the side of their hoods, so don't forget to paint those with this colour too. Now that all the base colours are complete, I'm going to use shades to add some depth to the model. Over the yellow areas, I'll apply a wash of Iyanden Yellow, which I've heavily thinned with contrast medium, about 4 parts medium to 1 part contrast paint. Try not to let this pool too heavily. There is a lot of medium in this mixture, so you'll have plenty of time to move it around once it's on the model. Now that the yellow shade has mostly dried, I'm going to shade the red, brown and bone areas of the model with Agrax Earthshade. I would also use this for any metallic areas on the model if there were any. When you're applying this wash, try to keep it away from the yellow areas because unthinned Agrax Earthshade can stain quite heavily. Finally, over all the areas of skin, I'm going to apply a Bale Tan Green wash. This doesn't stain very much, but it brings a lot of depth to the skin tone. Try to push it around on the model so it gets into all of the recesses, especially between the fingers and in the details on the face. With the shades complete, this model is just about finished, but to take it a bit further, I'm going to apply some highlights. Starting off with Flash Gitz Yellow, I'm going to highlight the raised areas of the robes and the hood. I find the best way to highlight horde models like these is to set a time box of a minute or two per model, because I could easily get carried away and spend forever just highlighting one of them. Going back to the Auric Flesh, I'm going to highlight some areas of skin on the model. In particular, I want to get the raised areas like the knuckles, nose and chin, but I also want to cover any of the flat areas where the previous wash has left a stain, like on the back of the hands. Finally, and I really do mean finally this time, I'm going to use Wraithbone to pick out any teeth on the model. There's no need to be super precise with this, just get it in the rough area of the teeth and avoid the skin if possible. Once the Wraithbone has dried, get the Agrax Earthshade back out and fill the whole mouth with it. That should flow nicely into the recesses and help to pick out each individual tooth. At this point the model is complete. I'm going to apply the base off camera and then we can take a closer look. And that's a finished Night Goblin. These more modern Night Goblin sculpts are great and have loads of detail and character packed into them. But all of the techniques I've shown in this video will work completely fine on the older Night Goblin sculpts and most of the Gloomspite Gitz range. All that's left to do is to paint the other 199 Night Goblins and you've almost got a full army. That's all for this video, I hope you enjoyed it. I'm still experimenting with this whole painting in front of a camera thing, so there are still some issues to iron out. If you're interested in sticking around, then please leave a like and subscribe, and thanks for watching.